I am an AfriKAN. I can. The AfriKAN. I-K-A-N. I can do it. When you say I am an African, you're saying I can do it. You should never call yourself an African if you don't believe we can do it, because the word I can is right there in the word African. You can't have African without I can. So when you say I can, when you say I'm an African, you're saying I can. I can do it. So an African is optimistic. An African is optimistic. He is a revolutionary optimist. The African is a revolutionary optimist. If you are not a revolutionary optimist, you are not an African, and you're definitely not a Pan-African nationalist. You must be a revolutionary optimist. For the revolutionary optimist, the only question is how, not if. See, for the Africans, it's always we can't. We got a lot of Africans around. All they do is doubt. They're useless. Get rid of them. They will infect the whole group with their negativism. A Pan-African LGBTQ internationalist. Okay, so you're a socialist. You are a socialist. And I respect your Pan-Africanism. But the problem with you Pan-African socialists, the problem with you Pan-African socialists is all of you are integrationists. You accept anybody and everything as long as they want to smash capitalism. The problem with you Pan-African socialists, I respect your Pan-Africanism. But the problem with you Pan-African socialists is you are really integrationists. You're really integrationists. You want to hold hands with everybody. You are Pan-African integrationists. That's what you are. There's no such thing as a Pan-Africanist LGBTQ. There's no such thing as that. It's impossible. It's a total contradiction. And so I need you Pan-African socialists to get your act together and stop pushing integrationism within the Pan-African movement. You're contradicting the intentions of this struggle. Okay, let me break this down to you, my beautiful African sister. And for the record, I love you. You're a lesbian, and I love you. You're bisexual. I love you. Okay, I love you as my sister, as the person. You understand? I want to be clear with you. I'm going to answer your question. Can you be LGBT and a Pan-Africanist? I'm going to answer your question. But first, I want to make sure you understand that my response is coming from a place of love. You're my sister, and I love you. Okay? Gay or straight, I love you. The person I love. The behavior I reject. Okay? The person I love. The behavior I disagree with. And I want to tell you why. Pan-African nationalism. I'm going to give you the answer for the Pan-African nationalist. I cannot give you the answer for the Pan-African socialist. Well, I can. Let me give you their answer first. For the Pan-African socialist, you can be lesbian or bisexual and still be a Pan-African socialist, because the socialists operate on a European ideological paradigm. Okay, they come from a Marxist-Leninist approach to oppression. So for the socialist, they see capitalism as the problem, not racism. For the socialists, smashing capitalism is the problem, not racism, because they believe capitalism invented racism. So for them, you can be a lesbian and be a Pan-African socialist. You can be gay and be a Pan-African socialist. You could be transgendered and be a Pan-African socialist for them. So that's the Pan-African socialist. So you can be a part of that. They will accept you. They accept everything as long as you're against capitalism. Okay? Now let me give you the answer for the Pan-African nationalist. I want to give you the answer for the Pan-African nationalist. For us, again, sister, I love you. I love all of our people, gay or straight. I love all of our people, gay or straight, but I disagree with your behavior. The reason you cannot join us, the reason you cannot struggle for us. Now, I will die for you, sister. I will fight with you. I will fight for you if anyone tries to harm my black sister. But the reason you cannot join this movement is because the word nationalism is derived from the word nature. Nationalism and nature have the same root, which is nat, N-A-T. Okay? Nature and nationalism come from the same root, which is nat, nature. And part of naturalness and nature and nationalism is to procreate, to repopulate. You understand? Okay? To regenerate. When we say nationalism, we're talking about building up a nation, and a nation is nothing more than a collection of families and communities. If there's no family, there's no community. If there's no community, there's no nation. So a nationalist, at the core of his being, is a promoter of traditional black family. I want you to understand me, sister. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand your brother. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand your brother. As a nationalist, I am a supporter of nature. And as a nationalist, I am a supporter of the black community. And in order for there to be a black community, there must be black family. So a nationalist is a proponent of the traditional black family. The word nationalism and nature come from the root, nat. Okay? To do as nature intended, to repopulate, to regenerate, to create families and expand those families into communities and expand those communities into nations. So here's the question, my sister. If a nationalist is a proponent of nature, and if a nationalist is a proponent of the traditional black family, because there's no nation without the community, and there's no community without the traditional black family. So my question to you, my beautiful African sister, if you are engaged in a relationship of same gender, which means you cannot repopulate yourself, you cannot reproduce yourself with your mate who is of the same gender. That black man who's dating another black man cannot reproduce himself naturally with that black man. The black woman dating another black woman cannot reproduce herself naturally with that other woman. So as you can see, the mere fact that you have chosen to live your life in a situation that does not allow for nature to take its course by way of your lifestyle, then represents a contradiction for the pan. Your lifestyle then represents a contradiction for the Pan-African nationalist. Do you understand? That's why you can't be with us. We love you. We will fight for you. You're a black woman. I will respect you. I respect your mate. You understand? You are human beings. You are my sister. All of us have some sort of psychological issues as a result of white supremacy, slavery, and the Ma'afa. But politically, I love you as a sister. That's family. But politically, you cannot struggle because it is a contradiction. You are promoting behavior that is antithetical to the best interests of the black community. You are promoting lifestyle choices that undermine the best interests of the black community. So my sister, as you can see, I don't hate you. It's not about disrespect. We got to understand each other. Now, you can still struggle with the Pan-African socialists. They accept everybody, okay? Anybody can go be with the Pan-African socialists. But for the Pan-African nationalist, no, 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 no. Traditional African family structure is a foundational principle for the revolutionary Pan-African nationalist. I say it again. Traditional black family structure is a foundational principle for the revolutionary Pan-African nationalist. I love you, my sister. I hope to meet you one day. Let's sit down and have a conversation. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a DR.UMAR town hall with the lesbian and bisexual sisters. We're going to have the same thing with the brothers too. Or we might just do it all together. We need to have a dialogue. We're not coming together. Well, we are coming together as family, but we're not coming together under the same umbrella of political movement, right? So family is family, right? You could go to the cookout, have fun. That's family. But when we taking care of business, military science, African liberation, that's when some of us got to go out the side door. When we socialize it, that's one thing. But when it's time to take care of the business of African liberation, some of us have to be excused from the meeting.